Hey y'all, this is the Lone Star Sports Car Series from VIR. Green flag for 45-minute race. Mohammed leads the field into turn one. .27-mile road course, Virginia International Raceway, more commonly known as VIR, located in Alton, Virginia. 17 turns. It is unfortunately not one of the more popular tracks in iRacing, possibly due to the fact that if you're not from the US, it's probably a little obscure, although it has been run in ALMS and IMSA runs there as well. Just seems like not many people care for it, maybe because it's narrow, it's fast, it's long. I think that just kind of has people tend to shy away from it. But if you take the time to learn the track, it's not all that too difficult. There are a few technical turns to it. Ryan getting loose back there, right in front of Adam. Well, a few technical turns, some blind apexes, a lot of elevation change. And it's very fast. I think it's a fun racetrack once you learn it. Two weeks ago, this series was at Laguna Seca. Amjad Yaman in his McLaren GT3 started on pole, led 31 of the 34 laps on his way to victory. Sheldon took P2, and Larry Ford, third step of the podium. Amjad not in the race this week, but Sheldon is. He's currently P5 after he went off in turn one just a little bit ago, earlier this lap, and Larry's running P3 right now. Couple team cars there. That's Clint in the black Ferrari, and that is JP, John Prince, in the green one. Couple cool looking cars, and you'll notice their other teammate, Larry Ford, if you saw a few shots ago, he's in the Texas Longhorns orange Ferrari. Kind of cool that they're all running the same schemes. That Mercedes back there behind these cars that you saw, that was Adam Young. That's another team car. Unfortunately, he's the only riding Shotgun Motorsport team member in this race. But he's got a team paint on as well. This is the Series 5th visit to this racetrack. Last time that happened was 2015, Season 2. Tony Lamberti took the checkered flag in a BMW. The year before that, 14 Season 2, Blake Reynolds won in a McLaren GT3. And 13 Season 4 was the year that we had Amjad Yaman in the Corvette GT1 taking the win, and then we also ran the GT3 McLaren. Larry took the win in that class. And then our first visit to the track was 13 Season 3. That car right there, well, not that car, it was actually myself in a McLaren GT3. I took the win to our inaugural visit to this track. What was that, almost 5 years ago. Is that the name? Longhorn Racing, I guess, is that the name of the team? I'm trying to read it on the side of the car there. Yes, Texas Longhorn Racing Team. If you guys have noticed, I spent all afternoon building a camera pack for this track. I am usually not too fond of the iRacing cameras. It's not that they're bad cameras. They're just unrealistic. If you've ever stopped and actually looked at some of the shots, they essentially have cameras suspended in midair, sometimes over the track, sometimes right at an apex or just offline. It might be a cool shot, but it's not a realistic shot, and I kind of like these realistic camera angles here. So I spent all afternoon. I built 4 camera sets. Yeah, I built 4 camera sets. I probably watched 40 minutes of the 2012 ALMS race here, broadcast by ESPN. I also watched a bit of the 2013 race. Skip forward to the 2015 and also 2017, last year's races for the IMSA. And for the most part, they use mostly all the same camera positions. So I tried to duplicate those. So I made one camera set that essentially duplicates the cameras from the real broadcast. A second camera set of zoomed in cameras to really focus on a single car is mainly what it's meant for. Then a third camera set was more, I don't want to say fictional cameras, but cameras placed in a position where it's possible they could have. They weren't placed there, but it's possible that you could put a camera in the positions that I chose. So those 3 TV camera sets I made, and then I made a 4th static TV camera set. So I enjoy the realistic cameras. I hope you guys enjoy these. There's Sheldon around the outside of Larry. And off track. I'm surprised that wasn't a slowdown, or maybe it was, but if that wasn't a slowdown, I'd be surprised. Because it looked like he had all 4 wheels off in the grass there. There's the oak tree, the famous VIR oak tree, which unfortunately I think in 2013, maybe it was 2014, strong storm came through and blew it over, so that oak tree's no more. However, it does live on here in iRacing. That was actually that oak tree is one of the reasons I had to go back and watch the 2012 broadcast. I was looking for a broadcast that incorporated cameras when that oak tree was there. There was also some Marshall posts and such back in 2012 that in more recent years have been removed and aren't there anymore, meaning some of the shots that the 2017 broadcast used weren't necessarily, they were shots that if I tried to duplicate them, I would have a Marshall outpost or a tree or something in the way. Another thing that I noticed moved was the start-finish line has moved as well, but in iRacing we have, I believe this was a scan in 2008, so we have the 2008 version of VIR that we're racing on. I think as far as the track layout, I don't believe much has changed. Maybe just a extra couple feet of curbing or runoff on the exit, like right here. I believe in 2018, 2017, there's a little more runoff in places like that, but not a whole lot. So not a whole lot's changed with the track. Oh, there's Clint. Running wide there, easy to do. He'll come in and P8 behind these guys. So that moves JP up to 6th and Adam up to 7th. He didn't lose too much ground, he's still right there. Most laps we've ever run here is 25, and according to the JRT overlays there, 25 is what we're predicting today. Most lead changes we ever had in a race was 4. Closest finish, 1.287 seconds. That was Blake Reynolds over Larry Ford on July 20th, 2014. Muhammad making it look easy in that white BMW. So Sheldon's made his way around Larry, and he's starting to catch up to the back of me. After you climb that long back straight uphill, you get to come back down it by weaving in and out. Some really tight turns there, some blind drops. And onto the front straight that's not really straight, but another long straightaway here leading into a heavy braking zone in turn 1. Turn known as the horseshoe. Turn 2 here, and into turn 3, known as NASCAR bend. Down to turn 4, known as left hook, and then a tight complex 5, 5A, and then 6, and then this goes through 6 and 6A, known as the snake. I call it the bottom S's, but known as the snake. And that leads you up to the uphill S's. Oh, climbing over those curbs, climbing up the hill, flat out. Into 10, known as South Bend. Down the hill to 11. Down to first gear here through Oak Tree. Oh! Spinning the rear tires a little bit. And then down the back straight. Now right here, I knew that Sheldon's quicker than me, and I used this opportunity to actually lift a little here. Just feather the throttle just so slightly, let him go by me. No reason to hold us both up. I didn't want Larry catching up too easily. Then we're down through 14, 14A is roller coaster, then 15, 16, 17 known as the bitch, 17 and 17A, known as the hog pen, back onto the front stretch. There's Lionel, running kind of by himself in P2. Haven't seen much of him this race. Not a bad spot to be. He had a great start, started P3, moved around Sheldon off the start and up the inside into turn 1. A little under half an hour left in the race. You'll notice what you didn't get to see was this track started with practice today with 0 rubber on it. We started a track with what we call a green track. Kind of like after the rain comes and washes everything away. You start with a green track, no rubber. And we had an hour of practice followed by a 15-minute qual. And now we've had just over 15 minutes in the race, and you see all the dark lines there. When the server opened, none of that was there. There was no rubber laid down, and it was quite slick. But once the track started to rubber up a little bit, gained some grip, and I didn't find it too bad. I know with the hotter temps, I was expecting worse. Lionel's Ferrari there, so far the fastest through the speed trap of the top 3. 164.3 miles an hour. I don't think I got anywhere near that. I had the wing all the way up for this race. Wanted as much grip as I could get through these tighter turns and the faster sweepers in that uphill. Having that extra wing really helps out a bit. Did we miss what happened to John? I see JP's fallen back to 8th and Clint's up to 7th. I don't know if something happened to him or if he just kind of fell back, trying to conserve tires. Adam getting a little squirrely there. hard on the brakes there. That's so cool watching that. Imagine doing that at the real track, 160 plus miles an hour, and then hard on the brakes for a blind right-hander that you can't see. You got to make that left first, and then you got that blind right that just falls away. Sheldon's Autobahn Motorsports team, one of Ulmer's teams. I wonder if that's going to change to Happy Bank Motorsports. Guess we'll have to wait and see. JP's hit pit road. Should be a scheduled stop, the first of the scheduled stops. About 23.5 minutes to go. And your leader Mohammed's hit pit road. Lionel stays out and will take the point. Looks like Sheldon will stay out as well. As does Larry. I wonder when the rest of these Ferraris are going to pit. Adam and Clint hitting pit road. There's about half the field left to pit. Mohammed rejoins P5. About half a minute behind the leader. He spent 35.7 seconds down pit lane, including his stop, and he's 28.8 behind, so when Lionel pits, almost certainly will allow Mohammed to take the lead back. Lionel's going to have a killer stop to keep the lead here. JP's almost caught back up to the back of Adam Young there. And there's your leader Lionel coming down pit road. As Beck stays out. I'm running 7.5 seconds behind Sheldon here. So Lionel comes out P5 behind Muhammad. There he is. Some sort of connection problem there. I think he lost connection in practice. I was saying something about storms out in Fort Worth at the time. Ryan Ritchie on pit road. Fuel level low. Notice the top speed at the bottom there. Two Mercedes almost identical. And then over a mile an hour faster, that Ferrari. Larry, you watching? You see that? Hey, there's Larry. Pit road for him as well? Yep, looks like it. I believe Sheldon and myself left the pit. Super fast stop for Larry, 12.1 seconds. .8 seconds on pit road. That's 8 seconds quicker than Mo did. One of the cool things about pit stops in the league here, adds another strategy to the race. Another area where you got to be able to get on and off pit road. Got to get your pit stop strategy set. On board with Sheldon here, coming around the final turn. I believe he'll hit pit road this time. Yep. Sheldon, 12.4 seconds in his box. That was 13.4 seconds. So Larry, the quickest actual stop. But Sheldon was the quickest on and off pit road, 27.4 to Larry's 27.8. That's getting slowed down, getting on the limiter, getting to pit road speed limit, just perfect, and then coming off, accelerating out of your box and hitting the limiter off just in time at the exit of pit road. So that'll move Mo back into P1. So that actually, Sheldon has moved up to P2 from that stop, and that's what a pit stop will get you. Lionel moves over to get a draft off of Ryan and then back around him. So we got Larry P5. About 8.5 seconds behind me there. 13 minutes to go. More small hiccups there in his connection, Lionel's connection there. Adam, less than a second behind Clint, closes up here. That'll be for P6. Clint currently leading this race for the gentleman class. We have two classes, if I haven't talked about that, two classes in the league. We have the pro class. That's for drivers over a 2,000-ish I rating, road I rating. And or because some drivers have a below 2,000 I rating, but they're quick. So another criteria is drivers who routinely run within 103% of the fastest lap. Those are your pro drivers. And then we have the gentleman's class, the gentleman race car drivers. These are the guys under 2,000 and who routinely are outside of 103% of the fastest laps. So out of those drivers, the ones in GM for this race, that you got Clint Ford in 6th, Adam Young 7th, John Prince 8th, and Ryan Ritchie 9th will be your GM class for this race. We'll give these guys mid-pack and back something to race for. Oh, we didn't see it, but Lionel's gotten around Sheldon. Maybe we did see it and I didn't see it. see all this damage on the front ends and on the side skirts and fenders of some of these cars. Most of that is actually going to be due from curb strikes. The curbs here aren't really that tall, but with low ride heights and some of these turns, you get a lot of compression with the high speeds, and if you're going over the curbs, that causes the car to bottom out, and then it strikes the curb and ends up causing damage to the car. So you'll see a few cars riding around with some damage on them. It's not from contact or anything. Well, contact with the curbs, that's about it. Ooh, little off track there. Should be about 5 to go. Shaping up to be a tight battle for P6. JP closes up on Clinton Adam. This will be for the GM class win. We don't actually award a win for the race, only for the championship, but we'll call it a win. That's not how you're going to catch him, Adam. They both run wide there. Oh, Clint runs wide. Can he hold the position? No, Adam up the inside. He's got to gather himself up and try to see if he can re-attack and take that position back from Adam. There he closes right up. Oh, John up the inside of Clint. Did he pull it off? Clint's still out there? I can't, was it, oh, a little contact maybe? Wow. A little contact, and they both continue on. That's close. Real close racing here. Just a little rubbing, that's it. Man, that was a good move if John could have made that stick, but Clint held on to it there on the outside. Really put in. Oh, Lionel's had problems. You see, he's missing the hood, and the car's really broke there as he takes a huge shortcut. Oh, that's too bad. Lionel out of P2. Oh, and Sheldon with problems. Oh, that's a big spin and off there. A lot of action here with 3.5 minutes to go. John's getting lined up. Try to get another run at Clint here. See if Clint can hold him off. Adam's just loving this, watching this in his mirror. There's where John tried to move last time. Clint's a little wiser to that now. And you got Muhammad coming up behind this group. Now he's got a 24-second lead. I suspect he may try to pick his way through these guys once he catches up to them. These guys come into the line with about 3 to go, but Muhammad will be coming to the line, I believe, with 2 to go at this point. And Lionel's in pit lane and in his pit box, and I believe that'll be it for him tonight. Real strong run. That's too bad. We missed what happened there, but replay director didn't pick it up. But that bumped Sheldon to P2, and I'm up to P3 now. Oh, Adam off at the top. Does he keep it out of the wall? He does now. How does he rejoin? Back off the other side? Oh, that's really allowing these guys to catch him. Oh, I hear contact back there. And Clint's in the wall. We didn't see what happened there. Clint nosed into the tire barriers. I heard some contact. And Clint's taking a tow to the pit lane now. I believe that'll be the end of his night as well, as bumps Ryan up to P7. But here is Muhammad. Oh, JP off. Replay director skipping around a lot here at the end. So we're now focused on Larry Ford. So Muhammad's taking the white flag, and everyone else will cycle around to take the white flag as well. See a little damage there, a little more damage than what we've seen on the front of JP's Ferrari. Don't want to speculate, but I would suppose that came from contact with Clint. And is Adam going to stay out in front of Muhammad to take another lap? Or will he strategically get past here, allowing him to end his race a lap earlier? On board with Larry. Ran a mostly mistake-free race. Maybe a couple little ones. But that doesn't help him too much here, because I ran with 0 incidents this race to back up what I ran 2 weeks ago at Laguna Seca. Those 5 bonus points for being incident-free really come in handy. So Muhammad's taking the win. JP will come across here in P6. Ryan Ritchie behind him, P7. There's Sheldon, P2. And here I come. Take the 3rd step of the podium. Yeah, celebrate. Flash the lights. Weave back and forth. Always feels good to get a podium. Larry got one last week over me. I bested him this week. He'll take P4 though, right behind me. And I'm sure he'll be back. And Adam Young, P5. This is actually his first top 5 in the Lone Star Sports Car Series since December 2012. He was racing an MX-5 back then at the short course at Road Atlanta. So once he gets to the line here as he comes down the backstretch, congrats to Adam picking up that top 5. And also first of the GM runners. So that'll help him in the Gentleman's Cup. I'm not sure if he plans to run the whole season with us. I know he wanted to last week, but he just didn't make it back in time. But this will put him in the points lead, so Adam, maybe a reason. Points lead for the, yeah. There he